I had always been drawn to the forbiddance. When I met Daniel, a charming man with a silver tongue and a wedding ring, I convinced myself it was harmless. He spoke of his loveless marriage, of how his wife didn't understand him. I believed him, or perhaps I wanted to. My name is Sofia. I always wanted a man to take care of and provide for me. Daniel was the man for me, I thought. But I was not just his girlfriend or mistress. He wants me almost every night. He was rough, not gentle. He was a married man. I was curious if his wife ever satisfied him. He usually takes me out for dinner in a nice fancy restaurant and watching movies. Sometimes, we will sleep in a 6-star luxury hotel. He was a very successful businessman. Most people respected him, but people don't know he was having an affair with me. I was like his doll. I was his secretary. After office hours, he always gave me a ride home. I live alone in an apartment where Daniel has bought a place for me to stay. One night, after dropping me off from work, he said he had a fight with his wife. He was feeling very sad that night, so I invited him to my bedroom. I was still in my secretary attire and my skirt. I knew he wanted me that night. In my bedroom, before I even had time to change, he pushed me down to my bed. He quickly pulled up my skirt and removed my panties, unbuttoned my shirt. I was not ready for it, but I didn't know how to tell him. He removed his pants like he was in a hurry. I wanted to tell him to stop, but the moment I looked into his eyes, I saw anger and sadness. So without pushing him away, I felt sympathy when he put his thing inside me. I was enjoying it at first, but then it became painful. I didn't know why he was rough with me all the time. Or was I just something for him to let it out? Punished? It was so painful I didn't even moan. But I still held him, touching his back gently. And he didn't stop having his moment for an hour. Then he was done. But it was one of the most painful 1-hour experiences I ever had. Our affair was a whirlwind of stolen moments and whispered promises. But as time passed, I began to feel the weight of our secrecy. I longed for more than fleeting encounters and half-truths. I wanted a future with Daniel, one where I wasn't hidden in the shadows. One evening, I gave him an ultimatum, me or his wife. Daniel hesitated, his face a storm of emotions. Finally, he spoke, his voice heavy with regret. "I can't leave her, Sofia. She's my family." The words hit me like a cold wind. I realized then that I had built my dreams on a foundation of lies. Daniel returned to his wife, leaving me to pick up the pieces of my broken heart. Without hesitation, I also requested to transfer to another department and no longer his secretary. I was too upset and disappointed. Daniel had no choice but to agree. A few months later, I met Michael, who happened to become my boyfriend. He was young, funny, and romantic. He was one of the managers in the office. He usually will take me to his house after work. One rainy night, while I and Michael were in his bedroom, we were lying together in bed. Then, I slowly undressed myself and removed his clothes. Michael was excited, but not in a hurry. We started by kissing each other passionately. He was a bad kisser though. Then slowly he went on top of me, and slowly he put his thing in. He was gentle, I couldn't moan, because I was thinking about Daniel while Michael was inside me. Tears welled up in my eyes, I almost wanted to cry. But Michael comforted me with his kisses. Then he continued again. Michael was fast. Not even 10 minutes, he was done. Then he asked me what's wrong. His voice calmed. Michael had never known my affair, but I decided to tell him that night. I thought he didn't mind, but I was so wrong. After I told him everything about me and Daniel, Michael stopped seeing me, never replied to all my texts and calls. Even in the office, he tried to avoid me. One fateful evening, in the office, during tea break, I saw Michael having a romantic conversation with a female colleague. In the pantry, they kissed each other on the lips. They didn't notice me, and I knew my relationship with Michael was over. In the quiet that followed, I reflected on my choices. I saw how I had allowed myself to be a supporting character in someone else's story. The affair had cost me my peace, my dignity, and my sense of self. The lesson was clear. Love built on betrayal is a house of cards, destined to collapse. I vowed never to settle for less than I deserved again.